Good morning, everyone. I'm going to call the meeting to order. The virtual meeting of the Windward Planning Commission will now come to order. It is Thursday, October 1st, 2020. Based on the 12th proclamation related to COVID-19 emergency dated August 20, 2020, our meetings will be on until further notice. This is to maintain physical distancing and to prevent the spread of the virus. The public can observe this meeting on YouTube live streaming by following the link provided on the county website or by using the URL advertised on the agenda. The video recording will be accessible on the same YouTube channel for those who are not able to watch it live. The minutes and transcripts will also be posted on the county website at a later date. The commission has received numerous written testimonies from the public. Also, public members may provide oral testimony at the meeting if they followed the registration process by 4 p.m. yesterday provided in the agenda. There are a few oral testifiers registered. If you are a registered testifier, please monitor the progress on YouTube and join the meeting for the particular item you'll be testifying about. Please be advised that when you are done with your testimony, or also if you join too early, you'll be asked to log out. We need to limit the number of people on the meeting platform so that we can better monitor all participants on the screen and minimize noise or connectivity. We thank you for your cooperation in achieving an orderly meeting. I'd like to remind everybody here, including the commissioners and staff, to silence your phone. Do that with mine. Also, only one person may speak at a time. So please raise your hand to be recognized by the chair before you speak. Staff, if I cannot see, please help me out. Alert me who raised their hand if there's anyone. Further, please keep your microphone muted while you are not talking. Otherwise, it'll pick up noise and that will interfere with the person who's speaking. With that, I would like to introduce the fellow commissioners. When you are called, please raise your hand. Vice Chair John Roplogo. Commissioner Gilbert Aguinaldo, is he here yet?
I'm here. Here.
Thank you. Thank you. Commissioner Dean Au. Commissioner John Clarkson. And I'm Thomas Rafferty. I chair this meeting. We have the quorum required to hold this meeting. Our staff. The following are also in attendance. Deputy Corporation Counsel Jay Yoshimoto, attorney for the commission. Planning Director Michael E. Deputy Corporation Counsel John Mukai, attorney for the Planning Director. Planning Program Manager Jeff Darrow. Planner Maya Jackson. Planner Tracy Lee Camaro, and temporarily assigned Commission Secretary Melissa Takahanan Salvador. Also assisting the Commission and staff today is the Director Secretary Rochelle Lee, who is hosting this virtual meeting. With that, let's proceed to the first item on the agenda. I just want to let everybody know that agenda item number 1 and number 2 are to be continued to our November meeting. That's going to be on November 5th. I also like to let everyone know that these same 2 items will be heard in the Windward Planning Commission in their October 15 meeting. I understand that we have one testifier for agenda item number 1, but I'd like to let the commissioners know that we will not be able to ask questions because it's not agendized. It's already continued to our November meeting, but the testifier who wished to give her public testimony at this time on agenda item number 1.
Okay, I should start now.
Okay, hold on, please. Corey Harden, can you please raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth on this matter now before the Windward Planning Commission?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we may proceed.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So I'm testifying on agenda item 1. I understand it was dropped, postponed. So I first want to thank you folks for your service on the commission and thank the staff for getting this online thing working. Let's see, and I believe the item was postponed because people raised concerns that the text of the amendment wasn't available to the public until 2 days before the meeting. I think it was postponed because of sunshine law considerations, and I appreciate, if that was the reason, I appreciate it was done. But I'm doing testimony kind of as a heads up for when it comes around again. My biggest concern are 2 provisions that might allow bad projects. One, right now, a written objection is enough to stop a project, but the amendments would change that to be a contested case hearing. And you folks all know what a contested case hearing involves. A great deal of work for the person filing the case, often at the expense of hiring a lawyer. We should keep it to a written objection to stop bad projects from getting through. Second concern, right now the projects are automatically approved if a commission does not decide by the deadline. Instead, they should be automatically denied to follow the precautionary principle and keep bad projects from getting through. I mean, what if the commission work gets disrupted by an eruption, tsunami, storm, or a pandemic like we're having now? And to give denied applicants a second chance, there could be some kind of expedited, simplified process for them to reapply. I think it should be automatic denial, not automatic approval. And a couple other concerns. The amendments talk about the close of public hearing, but it's not clear if they mean planning commission, board of appeals, county council, or court. Also, a permit can be revoked if a director sees there's non-compliance with conditions or threats to health and safety. But if the director isn't doing anything, there should be a way for the public to go straight to the commission. And last, we should keep the current language saying a permit can be revoked if the use has been abandoned for 2 years. The revisions would require a written statement of abandonment from the owner, but what if the owner refuses to write a statement? All right, thank you for your attention.
Thomas, you're on mute.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Ms. Harden. Thank you, Maya. At this time, we're going to take a 20-minute break, and we'll be coming back at 9:30 to let's start with the public testimony, agenda item number 3. But at this time, we're going to take a 20-minute break. Thank you very much.
Hi, Naomi. I see you on. Can you hear me? Naomi? Oh, I hear your microphone.
Rochelle,
Yes.
can you let them know to mute their video and monitor? I
Okay.
mean, let everyone know if they can mute their video and their audio.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks. John and Joe, all of you, if you could just turn off your video for now. I see your audio's off. Okay. And then Naomi, I see you on. Can I test your microphone to make sure we can hear you?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Great.
Thank you. I'll
Okay.
mute.
So I apologize. We have to wait till 9:30 because it was agendized that way. So hang in there. Thank you.
We just tested it.
You good? Yeah, I can hear you.
Good job, Miss Rochelle.
Nope. Mom is watching my kids at our like Hi, Jennifer.
Yes.
I see you. Okay, we can hear you.
Oh,
You got that.
wonderful. Thank you so much. I
Okay.
just would like you to know that I'm a believer in science and I really support
Oh,
5G
Jennifer.
towers.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you hang on till we call you to testify?
Yes, thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.
I'll mute.
Okay. Thanks.
Commissioner Clarkson, are you on? Commissioner Aguinaldo, are you on? Commissioner Clarkson, are you on? Commissioner Aguinaldo, are you on?
Yes, I can hear you, Thomas. Mr.
Thank you, Joe. All right. Commissioner Aguinaldo? Commissioner Aguinaldo? Rochelle, is everything ready for us?
Yes, you can proceed.
All right, thank you. Windward Planning Commission back in session. We're going to move on to agenda item number 3. Applicant, New Singular Wireless PCS, LLC DBA AT&T Mobility, use permit number 19-000082. Federal Court remand to the Windward Planning Commission for further consideration and action on use permit application 19-000082 to allow the construction of a non-manned telecommunication facility consisting of a 105-foot tall monopine acre property situated in the county's open zoning district. The subject property is located northeast of the Maku'u Drive, 17th Avenue, intersection in the Hawaiian Paradise Park subdivision, Keau, Una, Hawaii. TMK 315023040. Remanded by stipulation and order staying action to allow further consideration by the Windward Planning Commission, County of Hawaii. So prior to the presentation of this agenda item, oral public testimony will be conducted first. We have 9 people registered to testify in person. All those who are here to testify, please turn on your cameras and microphones. Rochelle, if you can help me and staff can help me make sure that I should have John Smyer, Naomi Melamed, Corey Harden, Deborah Ward, Eugene Elmer, Battalion Chief Kazuo Todd, Martha Stiffens, Jennifer Myers, and Major Andrew Berrien from the Police Department.
Hi, Tom. This is Rochelle. I don't know if John is on.
John Smyer?
And Corey already testified.
Oh, yes. Yeah, so she doesn't need to be sworn in.
Oh, and if possible, if you could call on Deborah Ward first, she has an appointment.
Okay, thank you very much.
If the rest of you, if possible, if you could turn on your camera and microphone, the chair will be swearing you in.
Yeah, police testifiers, please turn on your cameras and microphones at this time. Okay, at this time, please raise your right hand.
Oops. I'm trying to.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth on this matter now before the Windward Planning Commission?
I do.
I do.
I do.
I do.
Thank you. All right. So at this time, we're going to go ahead and have Deborah Ward start first. I'm going to ask all of you to turn off your cameras and microphones again and call you one by one. Until it is your turn to speak, please keep your cameras and microphones off so that the person who is testifying will have better chance to be heard. I appreciate your being considerate to other testifiers. Also, to be fair to everyone, testimony is limited to 3 minutes. You will hear a sound of signal telling you that you have a minute to wrap up your testimony. After 3 minutes, your microphone will be muted, and I'll ask the commissioners if they have any questions regarding your testimony. When there are no more questions, I'll ask you to log off for the reason stated earlier. Please be reminded that there is live streaming on YouTube where you can continue to observe the hearing. All this is to conduct a fair and orderly hearing. Thank you for your understanding and cooperation. Okay, so when it is time for you to speak, please state your name and area of residence before you begin your testimony. Joe, you do have a question.
Yes, I do, Chairman Rafferty. Does this proceeding to public testimony mean that there will be no presentations by update by Corporation Counsel or any other discussion other than public testimony prior to?
There will be presentation to the public testimony.
After the public testimony. Okay.
Yes, sir. All right. So we will go by Deborah will go first. Naomi, Eugene, Battalion Chief Kazuo, Martha, Jennifer, and Andrew Les. Deborah Ward, you're on.
Deborah, can you hear us? Hello, Deborah. Deborah, we can't hear you. Deborah, are you there?
This is Deborah Green, and I'm here. Are you calling on me? I would love to testify.
Deborah Ward.
This is Deborah Green.
Staff, I do have a Deborah Ward. I don't have a Deborah Green.
I believe there's a Deborah Ward and a Deborah Green. There are two Deborahs testifying.
So staff, I do have only one Deborah here, and Deborah Ward is the only one I have on the list. Is Deborah Green registered before the 4 o'clock deadline yesterday? Staff.
I'm sorry. Deborah, Deborah Green, did you register to testify?
I thought I did, but I perhaps didn't. Can I still testify since I'm present and ready to go?
Staff, can you help me with that question? Staff, can we proceed to the next one?
So I'm Naomi. I'm here to testify. I think my name was second on the list.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for the time. Is that all right if I begin my testimony at this time?
Yes, go ahead. Please state your name and the area you're.
Yes, my name is Naomi Melamed, and I live in Kauai, Hawaii. And here on the Big Island, I would like to just share a little bit. I appreciate all your time, as I said. I would like this tower to continue in the direction that the Planning Commission had, initially voted on it, being denied. I do see that it will adversely impact the community's character and surrounding properties. I hear some background noise. Is that just me? If everybody else could mute, thank you. I would, first of all, I went through the whole background report, and I did not see proof of gaps of coverage by providing, I didn't see those records of dropped calls. And I do believe that it would be prudent for the Planning Commission to demand the hard data here because, this is Singular Wireless we're talking about, and they can produce these records. So I'd like to see evidence of lack of coverage provided with this permit application, and I would also like to see that there's a third-party inspection of the emissions done every quarter would be my recommendation with this tower, because unfortunately the telecommunications as well as the FCC are undergoing numerous litigations right now. One of them, which has been supported by the Hawaii County Council, to support the FCC's, investigation into their limits that they're allowing. And unfortunately, they have also been, basically called out to be a captured agency, and that's very well documented by the Harvard Ethics Committee, etc. So that's number two. I would also like to see that these, that there is a proof of insurance policy, and that it not exclude personal injury or damage liability from any kind of exposures. I think that this would be a very important clause. Just as well as another point is that I did not see in this background report that there was a cultural resources, like an archaeologist survey beforehand. And I think that, prior to approval, that would be another prudent request, as well as an environmental survey. Particularly, this area is very susceptible to rapid ohia death. And I do believe that survey results from an environmental perspective should be turned over to the planning prior to any tree cutting for this permit, which is a vegetated area. So it should be approved by planning beforehand. I would just like to commend you all and, remind you that Section 47 USC 332C 7A clearly states that the local governments do have the power to regulate the placement of, wireless facilities, and that aside from your precious time and our county's resources, they do not, get any damages or attorney fees through these lawsuits. So I'd just like to encourage you all with your initial decisions that you made. And I would like to, again, thank you all for your time. I do not believe that there is a sufficient fall zone here for this tower. And I would like an alternative location to be available that's less intrusive, as it was suggested initially in the first plan. So thank you all so much for this time and consideration for all of you playing this matter yet again. Thank you again.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ms. Melamed. Do we have any questions from the commission to Ms. Melamed? Okay, no questions. Thank you very much, Ms. Melamed.
Thank you all.
Next up, do we have Deborah Ward now available?
No, she
Chair-
had to leave.
Okay, all right.
Chair Rafferty?
Yes.
I think this the other Deborah Green is waiting, and she was registered through the department, so I think we can go ahead and accept her testimony.
Okay. Can I where is she falling as far as the list that I have?
She's not on your list, but she was registered by the planning department, so we apologize for that oversight.
Okay, is it okay if I put her on the last on the list, or do I need to put her ahead of everybody else?
I'm happy to be last.
All right. Okay. Thanks a lot. And let's get Ms. Corey Harden, please. Is she on? She's done. Ms. Harden. Ms. Harden. Okay. Let's skip over to Eugene Elmer. Eugene Elmer, you're on.
Okay. Aloha Windward Planning Commission. To be very clear, hey, can somebody unmute their thing? I'm getting background noise. To be very clear, my focus is on you, Michael Yee. You are the planning director and the initiator of this agenda. I am testifying today in front of this commission because you are not doing your job. You, Michael Yee, are a disgrace to your position. You have the power to regulate the placement of wireless facilities in this county. Section 47 USC 332 C7A clearly states that the local government has this power. You alone have this power, and you are not exercising it to protect the citizens from all the ways this tower can cause us harm. The FCC has made it clear that we cannot use health as a factor, since they claim to have studied it carefully nearly 25 years ago in 1996, back when 2G was around. This commission and everyone watching knows this is a bunch of bull manure. There's a playground nearby to this tower. Did you know that? Michael Yee, do you remember the voicemail you sent me regarding... Hang on. Do you remember the voicemail you sent me regarding Resolution 678-20, the ceasing of the build-out of 5G? You told me there was no 5G on this island, and I found out otherwise right afterwards. T-Mobile has got it on. There is 5G here. You better cover your tracks, Michael Yee, because I plan on finding out you knew otherwise. You also said it was not a law or county code. So 8 of our 9 council members voted for something and you can't stick up for us? Not cool. This agenda to put up a new tower, this is your job to stop it. Is it because there are dropped calls happening? All these new towers going up in towns where there's great reception currently already? Why is that? Are you preparing for 5G, Michael? Helping out big telecom? So you don't want to lose funding at the expense of your constituents, the residents of this island? We cannot use health reasons on this testimony.
Please
That is
summarize.
the most ridiculous idea I've ever heard. We can use hell reasons though. If you do not protect us from the towers and the harm that they cause, if you believe in a God at the end of this life, you will not be seeing heaven. Thank you, Windward Planning Commission, for convincing this guy, Michael Yee, to do his job. Aloha.
Thank you, Mr. Elmer. Do you have any questions from Commission to Mr. Elmer? No question. At this time, we'll have Battalion Chief Kazuo Todd, Hawaii Fire Department. Mr. Todd, you're on.
Hold on a second. All right. Can you hear me?
Sure.
Okay, my name is Battalion Chief Kazuo Todd, and I'm representing the Hawaii Fire Department in support of the telecom tower, and this is for Hawaiian Paradise Park. And the reasoning behind the Hawaii Fire Department's support for these facilities is that it does help to increase the quality and the nature of the call system for the cellular. The fire department uses a variety of technologies nowadays that allow us to connect to our varying units out in the field. And as we increase the quality of the cell phone towers and the connections for that, it allows us to implement better communications. It allows us to have the kind of connection with our units and protect the citizens of the county in a more effective manner. We've rolled out a lot of technology in the last 2 years that is cell phone based. And runs through data connections that run through cell phone towers. And this is for redundancy and for building a better, more robust system. As such, any tower that's going in that can help us improve the coverage and produce a better outcome for the citizens is something that the Hawaii Fire Department is in support of. That's pretty much the crux of my testimony today. And that's it for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Todd. Appreciate it. Do we have any questions from the commission to Mr. Clarkson? Go ahead.
Yes, I just am curious as to whether, even with the use of the cellular system for communication with units in the field, whether the fire department and other agencies of the county are going to still maintain an independent radio system as a backup for failure of perhaps fiber nets or other aspects of the cellular system.
So yes, we also have our own radio system that is used for our department. I guess the differences in the usages for the different types of systems. One is used for radio transmission through our radio system. But for like the cellular side, it's more for data transmission. So we're using that to connect our laptops and transition data on like what's going out in the field prior to us arriving. What kind of information can we learn prior to showing up on a scene? And so we're allowing us to use the cellular systems allows us to hook our 911 operators and the CAD systems into our operators in the field and transition that data without tying up like our radio lines, which aren't quite built for that concept in mind.
And just to follow up, the cellular system allows you to exchange videos of scenes, whereas the radio system obviously does not. Is that correct? That
is correct, and that is something we're rapidly trying to implement. in terms of trying to be able to get that video that's going on the scene sent to our dispatchers and then get it out to the field, and implementation of technology like drones and streaming of stuff like the fires that are going on right now for better command decisions. So for us, a better and more robust cellular system is beneficial to providing a better service to the community.
Thank you. That's all from me.
Thank you, Mr. Clarkson. Any other questions from the commission? Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Mr. Todd. Thank you for your time. Okay, at this time, we're going to go into our next testifier. That'll be Martha Stiffens. Martha, you're on. Martha Stiffens, are you here? Staff, do you see Martha Stiffens?
Can you hear me?
Oh,
Hello?
there she is. Martha
Sorry,
Stiffens, go ahead.
I haven't been able to get on this platform today, so I don't have my video, but I'm glad you can hear me. My name's Martha Stevens, and I live in the Captain Cook area, and we have been watching towers and things go up. I actually was one of the people that found out about 5G from the T-Mobile company, being in there, having my phone serviced. They said, oh, yes, we already have T-Mobile, and as soon as AT&T comes in, we're building everything out, as soon as they acquired AT&T. So we know that that's going on. I go to town now, and I have problems being there, but that's beside the point. I'm originally from Silicon Valley. I've been here for 15 years. I do interior design and fine arts, so aesthetics is a huge thing with what's going on with these massive towers. I also have done hundreds and hundreds of hours of research and study in regard to the high-tech usage of these things and what they're for. And from my understanding, there's already new technology that is faster than this. I'll read my testimony right now. Dear Planning Commission, please rein in and control the international telecommunications industry's 5G towers in Hawaii. The telecom industries have obviously criminally positioned themselves years ago through the federal government to shove their overreaching technology through while everyone was still ignorantly asleep. The unethical plan of the uncontrolled global Internet of Everything. This is about the Internet of Everything and blanketing the Earth using the entire frequency range. It's not just for radios. It's the entire frequency range. It's a weapon. This is a war. What our trusted Hawaii County decision makers can please do now is rein in and place control on the location and output of these high-powered towers. The Big Island is anyway, please make it mandatory that they are monitored by a third-party inspections of radiation emissions with it, and that they're within the regulated range every quarter with certified reports submitted to the county. They will already have transmitters and repeaters everywhere. I mean, these things, this 5G has to have towers like every 300 feet. So it's the amount of electricity that will be burdened on the environment, and we're already like supposedly going into sustainability, but this is not sustainability. No need to have these unsightly towers around populated areas. The best thing to do would, of course, not allow them in pristine Hawaii at all. I mean, this isn't Silicon Valley. We don't need to blanket the whole island with houses. Where I came from when I was a child, it was all orchards and grew a lot of food. And now, of course, because of high tech, having that much high tech, this place will be packed with people from there, from all over the world. I mean, anyway, the best thing to do, which not allow them at all, and it is in your control. The Internet of Everything will control every aspect of our bodies, finances, and physical objects on the Earth by monitoring and quantifying them. That's what this is about. Complete dominion by an elite few will be laid with the Internet of Things, the Internet of Bodies. Look these things up. Get curious. And quantum finance. We're in a great reset right now. They want to go cashless, and this is their plan to do it. They want to be able to tell what your blood pressure is. I mean, there's patents.
Sorry, Martha, your time is up. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Chair Rafferty, you're on mute.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you, Ms. Stiffens. And do we have any questions from the commission to Ms. Stiffens? No question. We'll move on to the next testifier. That'll be Jennifer Myers. Jennifer Myers, you're on.
Aloha, can you hear me?
Ma'am, go ahead.
Okay, I am a resident of Hawaiian Paradise Park. I am, I've got children that have grown into techies and that are adults living on the mainland. And I look at the fact that just a few years ago, we would not have been able to have a meeting like this if it were not for the advancement of our technology systems. I'm a believer in science. I'm not a believer in conspiracy theories. I think that we really need to advance as much as we possibly can. I'm in complete support of 5G towers, and I really don't mind sharing my neighborhood with them. So I just hope that you can take this to heart. I understand and I hear the words of a lot of people that fear this kind of change. I'm also told by my own children that the amount of radiation that is let off from these is no more than a remote control from a television set. So I am, and these are kids that have just graduated from Ivy League universities. I really hope that you continue with this program, and we need this right now. We're in a world pandemic. We're in a time of massive change. We need to be educating our children. We need to be able to have access to meetings such as this. And I really think that 5G is our avenue to be able to do this. Aloha. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Myers. Do we have any questions from the commission, Ms. Myers?
I have no further questions. I just want you to take my heartfelt support.
Thank you very much, Ms. Myers. Appreciate it. At this time, we're going to have Major Andrew Berrien from the Hawaii Police Department. Mr. Berrien, you're on.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. This confirms our earlier written testimony that was submitted in February of 2020.
Excuse me, Mr. Berrien. Can you turn on your video, please?
I do not have video.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Our department supports the application to build this wireless communication facility in Hawaiian Paradise Park because of its benefit to public safety. In concert with the county-owned land mobile radio system, our department and its officers depend upon cellular coverage to do their jobs efficiently. In the event of poor land mobile radio coverage or reception, cellular coverage may provide a vital means of communication, which helps ensure officer safety and in turn increases public safety. The site being considered in Hawaiian Paradise Park is vital for building our network for our community and will provide a more reliable network for our department, other emergency services, and the public. As an example, our department is increasingly using mobile data terminals, MDTs, which are in the vehicles of our officers, our subsidized vehicles. These rely on a cellular connection. They do not rely on the land mobile radio system. This echoes what Chief Todd had said. The two systems are distinct. land mobile radio will not be eliminated in any time in the near future. That is essential for our communications, but the cellular network is also essential for our department and the functions that we conduct. It was implied again earlier about video streaming. We have Next Generation 911, which is starting to come on board. And what this will eventually allow, right now we can text into 911. So that allows the public additional means to report emergencies. You know, if they're in need of assistance, maybe they're not able to make a phone call. This allows them to text into 911 to our public safety answering point, our PSAP. So eventually this will allow us to receive video through cellular networks. That's part of NG 911. So again, our department does support AT&T's application, and that's all I have to testify in regards to. Thank you, sirs.
Thank you, Mr. Berrien. Appreciate it. Do we have any questions from the commission to Mr. Berrien? No questions. Mr. Berrien.
Thank you.
At this time, thank you. Deborah Green, before you go with this, did I swear you in, Ms. Green?
I was present at that time, but I'm happy to be sworn in again.
Okay, let's do it. You can turn on your video, please.
I don't have video. I'm sorry. But I do agree to tell the truth.
Okay, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth on this matter and not before the Windward Planning Commission?
I do, and I am raising my right hand.
Thank you very much. You may proceed.
Thank you. Commissioners, thank you for your service to the community. We realize that the AT&T lawsuit has put you in a difficult position, and we commend you for your prior decision to protect the community and honor the will of the people in denying the permit. And we're asking that you please deny or defer the permit. Once again, I'm curious how much written testimony you received on this issue. If you said that earlier, I must have missed it. So if that could be shared at some point, that would be great. You guys do have the power and authority, despite what AT&T and telecom representatives might say. You have the power and authority to regulate these towers. And we believe the tower is not needed. It will adversely impact this community's character and the surrounding properties. This thing is completely overbuilt. 12 AT&T antennas, a GPS antenna, and 36 radio heads that will act as boosters to make the signals stronger. All of that is unnecessary and is not needed, for the fire department, police departments, or other public servants. Much of what this tower can accomplish can be accomplished with fiber optic cable, which is faster, it's safer, it's more resilient, it's more secure, and it doesn't spray out wasteful wireless radiation everywhere. Towers and wireless infrastructure are super energy hogs. They actually use 25% more energy, and this is incompatible with Hawaii's energy goals. Hawaiian Telecom is using fiber optics in the area, so please check that out. If, in fact, you must approve the permit, we ask that you require third-party inspections of the radiation emissions and have these done every quarter with certified reports submitted to the county, because unfortunately, telecommunications companies have proven themselves untrustworthy, and so they need to be held accountable. We're also asking for proof of insurance required, and that the policy must not exclude personal injury or damage liability from exposure to radiation.
Please summarize. Thank you.
should be issued by an A-rated company, and we're also asking that you please protect cultural resources and require some kind of archaeological survey done beforehand. So, thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Green. Do we have any questions from the commission, Ms. Green? Okay, thank you very much. That's the final list. Do we have any question from the commission? Okay, if no questions, I would like to I need a motion to close the public hearing. Go ahead, Mr. Al.
Commissioner Al, you're on mute.
He's actually on mute. Still cannot hear Mr. Al. Try again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I move to close public testimony.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Al and seconded by Commissioner Aguinaldo to close the public hearing. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Okay, motion to close the public hearing carry. Okay, we're gonna go into the presentation. I'd like to remind the public that this meeting can still be viewed on YouTube, live streaming on YouTube. So at this time, we're gonna move into the staff presentation. Jeff, are you making the presentation?
Chair Rafferty, I will be giving the presentation.
Thank you very much, Maya. Go ahead and make the presentation, please.
Okay, please give me a moment to share my screen with you.
Hurry up.
Excuse me, this is Rochelle. Can I ask that the testifiers disconnect from the meeting and watch via YouTube? Thank you.
Okay, can the commissioners see the slide that says AT&T Mobility? Great, thanks, team. All right, so this is a stipulation by United States District Court staying the action to allow further consideration by the Windward Planning Commission. And the action was to deny the permit. AT&T had requested a use permit to construct a new telecommunication facility consisting of a 100-foot tall self-supporting monopine tower, which would be 105 feet tall with the branches, with 12 antennas and related facilities within a 1,054 square foot portion of a 20-acre property. The purpose of the project is to expand coverage within the Hawaiian Paradise Park subdivision and provide a needed site for the FirstNet program, which is the country's first nationwide communications platform dedicated to public safety. So I'm just going to go over a quick chronology of how we got here today with this application. In November of 2019, the applicant submitted the use permit application to the planning department. On February 6, 2020, Windward Planning Commission held their first hearing, and the motion was to continue the matter to the next hearing, which was March 5th, 2020. At that hearing, the Windward Planning Commission made a motion to deny the application, and that motion was approved. And then the commission instructed staff to create a findings of fact, conclusions of law for that denial recommendation. On June 4th, 2020, the commission approved the findings of facts and conclusions of law to deny the permit. You should have a copy of that findings of fact and conclusion in law. And then September 1st, the U.S. District Court issued the stipulation, which you should also have a copy of, staying the action of denying the permit to allow further consideration by the Windward Planning Commission. As you know, the project site is in the Hawaiian Paradise Park subdivision. It's located on a lot that's owned by the association at the corner of 17th Avenue and Makuu Drive, which is shown by the red dot on the slide. The applicant has submitted some information to the commission, and in that packet of information, they provided 2 revised site plans, and I have them on the slide. I can put them up as the applicant explains the changes, but just real generally, they are proposing to move the tower location 10 feet to the south east. And so these two circles that you see on the slide, the blue circle shows the 105-foot radius from the previous proposed site. So you can see that circle comes pretty close to an abandoned basketball hoop, as well as the playground. And then the new proposed site, which is in the southeast corner of the lease area, is shown, the 105-foot radius is shown in the white line. So you can see that brings the 105-foot radius further away from the basketball hoop and playground area. And that concludes my presentation. I can keep those 2 slides up if the commission wants to see them as the applicant is providing their information.
Thank you very much, Maya. Do we have any questions from the commission to Maya for any member? Okay, no questions. At this time, we'd like to have the applicant make his presentation. I know that Mr. Tomlinson was already sworn in. We're sworn in everybody. So, Mr. Tomlinson, is it only you from the applicant, or do you have members of your team that we need to swear in?
Okay, thank you. Good morning. Aloha, Mr. Chair and members of the Windward Planning Commission and Director Yee. As you know, my name is Andrew Tomlinson, and I'm here with Catherine Garson, and we're representing AT&T.
Mr. Tomlinson, do we need to swear in Catherine? Because I know you already sworn in. I'm not sure if Catherine was sworn in.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Catherine?
Hi, hi, Chair. I am their attorney from Carl Smith Ball. I'm representing AT&T and one of their attorneys in the litigation.
Okay, I will need to swear you in, please. Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth on this matter and not before the Windward Planning Commission?
Yes, I do.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Tomlinson, you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to ask real quick, first from the commission, if anybody had any questions stemming from testimony given earlier. If not, I'll summarize some of the information that was presented to you. And when we last met, we were at stay-at-home orders, and unfortunately, we're still under the same conditions. But this ongoing crisis actually really highlights the quality, the necessary conditions that require wireless broadband service for the benefit of the community and safety of the community. And this proposed site at Hawaiian Paradise Park was chosen to fill a really significant gap in coverage, and it's going to facilitate a faster and more reliable network for an underserved part of the island. It's going to become a vital infrastructure node for public safety and emergency responders as part of FirstNet. AT&T has provided you with further information, as Maya pointed out, regarding the 105-foot monopine tower at Hawaiian Paradise Park. And I just wanted to clarify that it's a 100-foot tower with 5-foot branches. And as Maya showed in attachment A, we provided you with a revised plot plan of the proposed facility, relocating. In my written testimony, I presented as approximately 10 feet. It's actually 13 feet 2 inches is the exact measurement. We listed as 10 feet to be conservative. And it's moved to the northeast of the licensed area within Hawaiian Paradise Park Homeowners Association lease. The new location is proposed, the relocation of the tower will move it further away from the abandoned basketball court and the playground area on the Hawaiian Paradise Park Homeowners Association property. Again, Maya pointed out the map. If you want to bring that up, Maya, the Exhibit B, if you could. Oops, I think Maya's on mute. There we go.
Just give me 1 minute here.
Absolutely.
Okay, can you see that?
Yes. So as Maya mentioned, we relocated the tower, the monopine, off to the northeast, and you'll see as she pointed out, you'll see the 105-foot radius. The white circle is from the new location. And so the abandoned basketball hoop is 124 feet away, and the corner of the fence at the playground is 151 feet away from that new location. I'd also like to take the opportunity to emphasize the structural integrity and design of the proposed tower. An attachment C that we provided to you is the structural professional engineer letter submitted to the commission on the March 5th hearing. And to summarize, it provides information regarding how the monopine will be designed and built for structural integrity pursuant to state and county standards. As is noted, the state of Hawaii and the Hawaii County Code adopted the 2006 edition of the International Building Code as their standard. This Hawaii County Building Code requires that telecommunications towers, together with the initial antenna and equipment, must withstand winds of at least 100 miles per hour. AT&T requires that its towers adhere to the more stringent 2018 edition of the International Building Code. AT&T requires its new towers and initial equipment installation to be designed to withstand winds of up to 120 miles per hour, which exceeds the Hawaii County Building Code requirements. A principal objective of the proposed facility is public safety. As you've heard from the fire department and the police department, the construction of the proposed facility would not only expand the wireless phone service in the area for the general public, but also expand FirstNet's coverage in Hawaiian Paradise Park area. FirstNet was authorized by Congress and developed through the U.S. Department of Commerce and is being built through a public-private partnership with AT&T and local governments. The network gives first responders priority in emergency situations to send voice, text, images, video, location information in real time, and enables information sharing across disciplines and jurisdictions. The network also dramatically increases situational awareness, supports faster and more effective responses in emergencies and disasters, and provides public safety users with the assurance of network access whenever they need it. The proposed facility would be part of the FirstNet network in Hawaii. Denial of the application would leave a significant gap in network coverage and potentially compromise public safety in the area. The FirstNet Authority has actually submitted a letter in support in June, and they stated that the FirstNet Authority's mission is to provide and maintain a single interoperable platform that consistently satisfies the demanding communication needs of the public safety community in Hawaii and across the country. New radio access sites are essential to the success of the program in delivering the mission critical coverage public safety needs to communicate and save lives. You heard from Chief Todd from the Hawaii County Fire Department, as well as Major Berrien from the police department about the critical nature of cellular services on FirstNet for their organizations and for public safety. I also wanted to address questions that were raised in previous hearings about AT&T's access to the site. As presented in the June hearing, AT&T has access property rights to the Hawaiian Paradise Park area. We presented a letter of authorization signed by the president of the Homeowners Association as actually part of our initial application. We also provided minutes from the January 2019 Homeowners Association meeting showing that the community of the Hawaiian Paradise Park was informed and had opportunity to testify in regard, discuss it in regards to the board meeting. And then the Hawaiian Paradise Park Homeowners Association actually had no comment or objection when department staff solicited comments regarding the application back in November. And then finally, we provided the redacted version of AT&T's license agreement with the Homeowners Association, which clearly establishes AT&T's rights to use of the HOA property. So finally, I'd just like to summarize. It is clear that public safety will be enhanced by the Commission's approval of the application, and AT&T respectfully requests that the Commission approve the application with conditions of approval as recommended by the County of Hawaii Planning Department, previously forwarded to the Commission on January 29, 2020. I'm certainly available for questions and wanted to thank you very much. Mahalo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tomlinson. Do we have any questions from the Commission to Mr. Clarkson? Mr. Clarkson, you're on.
Yes, I have a question for either Mr. Tomlinson or Catherine Garson. I heard the last name. My original and still somewhat mitigated concern was over the fall radius. And my belief is that when there is a greenfield construction on a brand new site, that it's pretty easy to make sure that whatever the cause might be, if the tower did fall over, it doesn't endanger anybody or anyone. And to get to my question, my suggestion at previous hearings was just to move the site significantly further away from the parking lot, the playground, even the Spectrum Hawaii structure, since nothing has been built yet and you have the cooperation of the landowner. I'm just curious as to why AT&T felt that it was easier for them to pursue litigation in federal court rather than just renegotiate a movement of the construction site 40 or 50 feet further to the northeast. Why was that?
The location of the lease area was discussed with, as you mentioned, with the homeowners association, and that was partly their choice to actually place it there, as well as AT&T's choice. A lot of it has to do with access to utilities, which are right there, as well as access for maintaining the site. And so we felt the move within the lease area a bit further away would provide the, I guess, assurance that there would not be any issues with the playground or the basketball court.
Well, thank you for that. I find it hard to believe that moving the lease area a few tenths of feet further away would have greatly expanded the cost for utilities or access. But let me just finish by saying that I will most likely be voting for approval. The extra 13 feet is additionally reassuring. But I'd just like to impress upon AT&T that when in the future you have an opportunity to fix on a site for a brand new lease and a brand new tower, please keep in mind that if you have the opportunity to do so, obviously out in a rural area where there's a 20-acre possibility for selecting a site, that you could please move the towers to where if it falls over, it's not going to hurt anything. That's my only comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Clarkson. Mr. Al, go ahead. And after following Mr. Al, Mr. Oplogo.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm having issues with my mic. Mr. Tomlinson, I have a question regarding the movement of the tower. Maya, can you bring up that screen, that exhibit that shows that it was moved 13 feet and 2 inches within that square? I kind of want to point in reference to the structure or the square itself. So, Mr. Tomlinson, the question to you is why couldn't you have moved it? I mean, why exactly 13 feet and 2 inches? Could you have moved it more within that square? I guess that is the, yeah, could you just explain the reasoning? I mean, I know the reasoning why you moved it for public safety and to move it away from the basketball court, but you know, why exactly 13 feet, 2 inches? Could you have moved it a little bit more, 15 feet, 2 inches, or 20 feet, or 30 feet, 2 inches? Maybe can you explain that?
Yes, I'd be happy to. So under code for design purposes, we need to have a certain distance from facilities from the edge of our lease area, as well as we need to accommodate the branches for the tower so that they're within the lease area. So we worked to move it as much as we could within that area while still maintaining the code and as well as staying within our the lease area from the branches standpoint.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is there's a setback requirement within your lease land, and everything needs to the tower and its branches need to be within that setback or within.
Yes, exactly the envelope above, straight up. So we can't encroach outside our lease area.
Okay, so in the prior meetings, we did discuss the issue of your organization possibly renegotiating a new lease with the HPP Association and how that would affect this particular special use permit. Have you even had that conversation with the HPP Association?
So it's not clear whether we'd be able to move to another location within Hawaiian Paradise Park. We would have to renegotiate obviously a new lease, redesign the facility, and then we would actually have to reapply for a use permit application. So in terms of the public safety aspect, FirstNet very much wants this facility to be on air as soon as possible. So there's a lot of factors involved that make it somewhat prohibitive to end this lease, let's say, and move to some new location. We don't have any assurances on that from their board.
Okay, well, thank you for those answers. You know, I do share the same concerns as my fellow Commissioner Clarkson has about your organization just not even just trying to get a new lease and moving it 50 feet away within the same property. You know, and it kind of raises questions like it raises questions for me that your organization would rather go through litigation than just to try and get a new lease and take that route. But, you know, we are here today, you know, and we did get the remand from the U.S. District Court. So again, we are here where we're at today, and we cannot use health reasons as a concern, but, you know, I do share the same comments and the same sentiments as Commissioner Clarkson. So thank you for answering.
Understood. I'd also like to clarify, if we did make a 50-foot move hypothetically within that area, we'd also have issues with proximity to the HOA office, as well as the property line and Maku Drive behind us. So the location, you know, would have other factors being involved that would constrain it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Oplodo.
Okay, I had to unmute. Thank you, and thank you, Mr. Tomlinson. So I'm hearing about public safety and how much this tower will help protect our citizens, and in this time of online education for students, having good access is important. And things are as they are at this moment, but people have brought up in new testimony today with regards to having the towers checked. I've heard quarterly, but I don't see why it couldn't be biannually or annually for emissions or anything that the public right now is supremely concerned about. And other people with science backgrounds claim there is no problem. My question or proposal to you, Mr. Tomlinson, and the rest of you, is that you don't come before us again with a tower without having that available for the public. So in essence, you are saying, hey, if you are physically hurt by this tower, you can sue us. And we are going to test it at a certain time in each year to see if there's emissions or not. And with that in place, you would in essence be pacifying everyone, I believe. And if there were problems, you'd want to address them. And if there are no problems, then you are giving the public peace of mind. So public safety would be the main goal all the way around for the tower. Okay. That's my input to the cell tower people, rather than have us have to go through this every single time you guys come. And we're going to approve it. But, you know, come on, give us something. Anyway, thank you.
Can I respond, Chairman? Just to clarify, as part of our application, AT&T provides an analysis of the maximum permissible emissions report, which basically shows, in layman's terms, shows what the emissions would be as proposed for the tower, and it is less than basically the worst case scenario, and it's less than 1% of the FCC standard at ground level. And then the FCC regulates the AT&T as well as other vendors. That's part of the FCC jurisdiction for telecommunications towers. So as part of our application, we do provide that information on a worst case scenario.
Thank you. I understand that and what you were saying. I guess I'm sort of proposing another way of, I don't know, in the newspaper, the towers have been checked, everything's cool, contact this number if you have questions, providing peace of mind to the public. Whereas right now, FCC's monitoring it, regulating it, doing all of that. But your general average person in the community is unaware of that. They think they're being bombarded by X-rays and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, thank you for your response.
Thank you. I understand what you're saying. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any question? Any other questions? I do have.
Yes, I do. This question is for Andrew. I'd just like to say that, you know, all the other commissioners spoke their feelings, and I'm gonna share mine too. Is number one is for us is public safety. Yes, we heard it from police department, fire department about our technology. We heard it for right now what we're going through. Social distant learning. Yeah, a lot of people don't have internet access, and they use this as their source of access to the internet for educational purposes. You know, and if you say you guys did your homework, I'm looking at the map right now. Hawaiian Paradise Park Owner Association own 3 parcels. Okay, 3 parcels. One property is above where your site is, and they own the other property below. Why is, you know, I get it, and don't have to, I'm gonna be upfront. You guys wanted to get to the closest utility as possible because you don't want to cough up any more change to tie into utility. Why, you know, why in that area? And you can move them 15 feet. You can move them further. And like, again, it's like we got our hands tied because quick, you guys go to litigation. I'm going to seek my attorneys. Hey, I'm a local boy. You guys like sit down and hash things out. You do them the old school way. You get the community involved. Hey, it's a win-win, Andrew. You know, there's sometimes you got to give and take, not always go that route. Are you guys going to maintain cutting all the albizia trees? Now, see, that's a big thing too. You guys not looking at it right now. We get albizia trees right there. Why in that corner? And I get it. It's that corner looks perfect because everything is right there. But you guys gotta be able to give back to this community. Now, what, you know, if we do 1 for 1 is 1 for all, right? You know, I mean, look at it. You know, we got to really look at it, and we addressed this before. That they have their property is so massive. They have another 18-acre right above this, and they have one other one right below it. That one has nothing, 20 acres. Why in that specific location? You know, and that's my thing is that they address their concern. pertaining to the cell tower, sometimes, it's not favorable because we have a lot of complaint by the community. Gotta win-win. Gotta find the common ground balance. A comment was said, is it gonna be monitored by a third party? You just said FAA. Is that possible? Are you willing to dig deep and provide that information if that was even legal or possible? And that's my thing, internet access is very important. It's a vital source for all of us. We all, I have a cell phone, but at the same time, how many more cell towers are gonna pop up? It's the same thing like up in Mauna Kea. They like build one big telescope, but they're not taking down the old ones yet. Now, are you guys gonna maintain the pre-existing ones, or are you gonna take them down? So that's the thing now. So now you guys can say, well, this area need more cell service because there's a radius it's only gonna cover. That's my thing, is just being upfront, and I just wanted to share, because you put us you have your attorney in there, she can hear me. You guys put us in a situation of, hey, if we don't do it, we're gonna do this. We are here to serve our community and our county, and that's kind of like what I have to share, is please look into other things. Is your presentation is, I'm just looking at it right now. There's 3 properties right outside of this area where, hey, if it falls, it falls. It's not gonna fall into the next street or neighbor. Out of sight, out of mind. So that's kind of like what I have to share. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Aguinaldo. Mr. Tomlinson, I have just one question for you. And that's not related to fall radius, but it's just something just came to my mind as Chief Battalion Chief Todd made his presentation, and that is with him. So I understand there's going to be a potential and possibility of telemedicine, taking videos out there and sending back to dispatch or send them to the hospital, or there's going to be some kind of cross talks as they're monitoring the patient. So you can guarantee that these transmissions of medical is not going to be going out there where anybody can come in and intercept it and broadcast it online. You can guarantee that to the people of Hawaii.
Yeah, I think I understand your question regarding security of data and under HIPAA. Oh,
Yes,
thank you. Sorry, I couldn't hear everything perfectly. Sorry, I apologize. So the system used by FirstNet and our first responders with that information is their own network. I'm not a network security expert, but it is not accessible to the public. That band 14 it is for the first responder network. And in terms of the specific HIPAA compliance, I would have to defer to a network security specialist on that, to be honest. But it is a network that's not openly available to the public.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And that's the only question I have. Any other questions from the commission? If there's no question from the commission, I need a motion for action.
I think Commissioner Al had a question.
Oh, Commissioner Al, go ahead.
Thank you. Another question for Tomlinson. I don't know if you can answer this question, but my question is, how is Resolution 678, the most recent Hawaii County Council resolution that was passed regarding 5G, how is this going to affect this application or this tower moving forward, and how is it going to affect future towers?
That's a big question. In this particular case, the technology being proposed for this tower is 4G. So the resolution would not have a direct effect on this application. AT&T will be deploying 5G. That's in the plan. I don't know the specific plan for this tower, to be honest with you, but in terms of Hawaii and the county of Hawaii, there are plans to deploy 5G. Does that answer your question? I'm sorry.
You are answering my question, and I don't know if you're the person to be asking this particular question, because we're kind of going in the realm of politics and future towers. You cannot speak on behalf of future towers because that's not what the application is for. But I was just curious, and there's a lot of controversy going on with this, and this one resolution that got passed to the Hawaii County Council. Other issues will come up, other resolutions and other bills will come up regarding 5G. So, again, this has nothing to do with this application, but just wanted to ask that question. So thank you very much for your answer and answering it to the best of your ability.
Mr. Clarkson,
I just have one more comment about future siting for Mr. Tomlinson. One other aspect of these towers that people have talked about is their aesthetics. Even if you dress them up with, faux pine branches, I mean, that helps. But it's pretty hard to make a cell tower attractive, even with them. Maybe some Christmas lights seasonally would be helpful. But I'm kidding. Just as a reminder, the further away from public roads you put these towers, especially in a flat area like Paradise Park, the less visible they are and the more acceptable the aesthetics would be. So that's just another reason for trying to get them as far within the necessary functional area, but as far away from public roads, parking lots, houses, not only from the fall radius aspect, but the aesthetic aspect. So.
thank you very much, Mr. Clarkson. Any other questions from the commission? If there's a question, I need a motion for action. I need a motion for action from the commission.
I'd make a motion, but I don't have amended language right in front of me. So I'm waiting. I'll second the motion for approval.
So do you have any second?
Okay, I'll give it a go without the recommended language sitting in front of me. I apologize.
I have Joe. I have it if you'd like me to.
Please.
Okay. I move the application for a use permit docket number 19-000082 be approved based on the planning director's recommendation, which shall be adopted.
Second.
I second, but I want to make sure that the motion accommodates the changed site plan of the applicant. Because you're referring to a planning director's recommendation that may not refer to a revised application.
Okay, and let me say it again. I withdraw my former statement. Now I say, I move that the application for the use permit docket number 119-000082 be approved on the planning director's recommendation, and the agreement of AT&T to move the tower 13 feet and 2 inches further away from the parking lot area shall be adopted.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Rapogo and seconded by Commissioner Clarkson, that the motion be approved based on the planning director's recommendation and the agreement to move the pole 13 feet 2 inches northeast as shown on the map, which shall be adopted. Do we have any questions, comments, or discussion? Maya, go ahead.
I would just like to ask for clarification from the applicant, because their material referenced that the tower location will be moved 10 to 13 feet to the northeast, but when I look at the diagrams, it looks like it's being moved to the southeast. So can we get confirmation of that?
It looks like on the plan, that diagram that we have that you showed looks like it's moved to northeast. The top right-hand corner, move up there, that's northeast, if the orientation of the map is correct.
Yes. So the just to clarify, Maya, the orientation of the aerial image is shifted a little bit for paper purposes, but it is to the northeast. To be specific, the plot plan shows the exact, as Exhibit A shows the exact movement where the new location is, proposed location within the lease area. If you want to include that as an exhibit, it shows the location.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other comments, discussion? Okay, no comments, no discussion. Staff, can you take the roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Replogle.
Unmute please before you speak.
That's unusual. Aye.
Commissioner Clarkson.
Aye.
Commissioner Al.
Aye.
Commissioner Aguinaldo.
Aye.
And Chair Rafferty.
Aye.
Okay, the motion carries 5-0.
Okay, thank you very much. Applicant, you will be notified of the commission's decision in writing. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your consideration.
Okay, at this time, we're going to have approval for August 12th, 2020 commission minutes.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the minutes for August 20.
I second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Au and seconded by Commissioner Aguinaldo that we accept the August 12th, 2020 meeting minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay. Motion carried. Staff, do we have any administrative matters that we need to discuss at this time?
No, we do not.
Any announcements?
No announcements either.
Thank you very much. I need a motion for adjournment.
Mr. Chair, I have a question for staff.
Go ahead, Mr. Al.
So Maya, where are we with the general plan?
Sorry, Michael, do you want to respond to that?
Yes, Michael Yee, Planning Director. We are hoping to maybe get a draft out at the end of the year, but I highly suspect it'll be at the first part of next year. We're obviously behind schedule.
I got another question, Mr. Chair.
Good, sir.
So in the past, we got that SMA report. We didn't receive it, I guess, in these last 2 meetings or 3 meetings that we've had. I thought for me that was very helpful as a commissioner. So I would like to continue to get those SMA reports prior. Is it because we haven't had any? Is that the reason why we haven't had those reports, or it's just, I understand through this COVID, that's probably the reason why. Maybe if you want to answer on that, but I think the SMA report was very, very helpful, just to see, what's going on.
Well, we'll certainly endeavor to get the report back out to you folks. It is just part of the chaos of focusing on making these meetings happen and juggling all these different priorities as they've changed. But yeah, I think certainly the intention is to get it back to you folks.
Thank you very much. Any other comments? I need a motion for adjournment, please.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
So motion, seconded, that we adjourn the meeting at this time. All those in favor say aye.
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 No opposed. Thank you very much, unanimous. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you all very much for your service and time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Be
Thanks,
safe.
Michelle.
Have a good weekend.